Well, you know what? I think we have to talk about how that comedy's over. You just can't be a comedian anymore. Everybody who was once a good comedian, everybody who starts out a little bit funny, they all just go woke, and then the woke takes over, and then there's no more joke. It's just woke.
And
Where are
broke.
the jokes, everyone? Bring back the jokes. Get rid of the wokes. You know what I'm saying?
Yup. Yup. I totally agree, man. Um, Bill Burr, unfortunately, as you guys are about to see, has
Rest
has
in
joined
peace.
the woke. He's
It's
gone
over.
woke. Uh, no, but let's check out this. This is what I think started this beef between Bill Burr and Ben Shapiro. Um, let's take a look at this in full. Bill Burr destroys Elon Musk.
Just like Hitler, it was funny. I made fun of the Twitter guy for fucking Sieg Heiling not once but twice, and I never look at my emails. I was scrolling through my emails, and it said my Twitter account had been flagged for I don't even tweet anymore. It had been flagged for what a fucking baby. Just like Hitler, a fucking baby. How about the fact that the Twitter guy he's not even from here. He's from South Africa. He comes to this country and wants to turn it into a fucking dictatorship. He doesn't feel that we deserve democracy. Can you just imagine doing that? Going to another country and just deciding, yeah, you know what? I'm going to change this form of government because I've decided. Yeah, he doesn't mind living under a dictatorship as long as he's on the good side of it. Fucking laminated face cunt. Because that's these people that are into fucking Hitler, you know what I mean? And like look at this guy like he was some sort of fucking hero. The guy's one of the biggest fucking cowards ever. All the pain and all the suffering that guy's caused and the war crimes the Allies had to commit, firebombing fucking cities to get that motherfucker. When it came time for him to pay the price for all the suffering he caused millions and millions and millions of people. Did he face the music? Nope. He gave himself a nice, quick, painless fucking death. That's your fucking hero? Fucking coward is what he was. Should have faced the fucking music.
Man, Bill Burr, cut through the fucking mud. You know what I mean? He just says the straight shit. He's like, you know what? This guy, he's a coward. He worships coward. He's got a laminated plastic surgery ridden face. And he's come here and he's tried to buy our government. Fuck him.
Yep, 100%. And that was one of the comments that really triggered conservatives. Obviously, the people who, as you referenced, Zach, want to stop any sort of policing of jokes. These people hate it when anyone cancels or criticizes comedy. But not only did that joke really trigger them, or that commentary, but also Bill Burr's comments about the United Healthcare CEO, and also about how just I think billionaires in general should be put down like dogs. So Bill Burr, obviously this is nothing that crazy for us. We talk about this sort of stuff on the show every day. But I do think it's pretty meaningful that a mainstream comic like Bill Burr, someone who, again, you might know as the voice of the main character on F is for Family, the Netflix show. Great show, by the way. I highly recommend it. But again, this is not someone who's like a regular on the left-wing podcast circuit. We're not talking about Kyle Kalinske here. We're talking about a pretty mainstream celebrity. In fact, Bill Burr actually directed his first movie, just some normie-ass comedy movie that came out earlier, I think last year. So, this, again, is not someone who's traditionally associated with politics, but it is someone that a lot of people like. Do you think this is meaningful, Zach, that we have a real voice in this space, and not just any voice, but someone who's actually funny?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's the only one. It's interesting. He's like an endangered species, right? It's like if we found a dodo bird, you'd be like, holy shit, we got to protect this guy. This is valuable. You know what I mean? It is something that I thought was gone forever. I thought, oh my goodness, there's never going to be a really, truly effective communicator on the left that's actually funny. That's not just like a virtue signaling wad. That's not somebody that's going to get up on SNL and cry about something, but who's actually going to make you think and laugh at the same time. It's really important. And the thing about Bill Burr is I think he's also an alpha right? And he's not an alpha in the kind of way where he's going to inject himself with testosterone replacement. He's not a kind of guy who's going to eat raw liver on camera. He's the kind of guy that's going to sit back with a cigar and just talk shit to you. And he's never going to tense up, and he's never going to get worried about what your reaction is going to be. He's going to just baton battle whatever comes out of your mouth rhetorically. And if you get so outraged that you want to, get all into a tizzy about it, he's going to continue to make fun of that. He's very secure and confident. And I think that comes across so well. And it's such a necessary element of the equation that makes Bill Burr. First off, the most important part is that he's funny, but all the other stuff kind of adds to it, right? It elevates it even further. And I think what it really all boils down to, if you're just a regular ass human being, if you're just a real ass dude, it doesn't really matter who you are. You'll look at the equation around us. You'll look at the world and you'll be like, we have to do something about these billionaires. I remember one of the first Jesse Ventura clips that we cut, Gavin cut and put on Twitter, and it went really viral. And it was Jesse Ventura saying, hey, we need to cap the salaries of everyone at $1 million a month after taxes. That's it. You get 12 million bucks. If you can't live off of 12 million USD after tax income per year, we're bringing back corporal capital punishment. You know what I mean? We're taking your life away, putting it out like a candle in the wind. You don't get to have any more chances. You tried, you're broken, you're deficient, you're bad for the human race. It's over for you. And we need more people like that who are just going to, say, hey, enough is enough. If you can't behave like an even remotely decent human being, you're done. We're voting you off of the island.
100%. You're right. Jesse had his own put them down like dogs moment. That was one of the first things we ever posted that went viral. Like you said, Zach, that was amazing. Shout out to the great Jesse Ventura. That was from his old show, The World According to Jesse. But yeah, 100%, bro, 100%. And let's take a look over here at this Variety article, because they're reporting. It's pretty funny how Variety reports on this shit, but like they're the Vanguard or something. But this is like one of the major trades in Hollywood, along with Deadline and the Hollywood Reporter, and they're covering this like Twitter beef or whatever.
Hey,
but
bro, the Vanguard's making waves, bro. They have to keep up with us somehow. You know what I mean? The drama is what gets people to click.
Yup. Ben Shapiro called Bill Burr woke after comedian lashed out at CEO's selfish, greedy pieces of shit. Bill Burr now runs. This guy is that guy's a jerk off. And yeah, I mean, just look at these two individuals. Which one's the alpha male? I think you all can figure that out pretty easily. Anyway, let's take a look. Bill Burr recently spoke to the New York Times and shrugged off Ben Shapiro's criticism of him. The conservative political commentator and Daily Wire co-founder called out Burr in December for going woke after the comedian lashed out at the selfish and greedy CEOs in the wake of the murder of United Healthcare chief executive Brian Thompson. All I know is if he put woke on what I said, he would make more money, Burr now said of Shapiro's claim. I don't know who he is, but that guy is a jerk off. So that's pretty interesting. And it is true that conservatives literally just label anything woke in order to, make it, more clickable in the algorithm. You see this all the time with like movie YouTube, like random people just calling any new movie that comes out woke, right? Anything they don't like woke, even if it's not, just because they don't like it, just because there's money to be made and calling shit that. So that's pretty pathetic. That's all he can come up with to, insult Bill Burr that he's fucking woke. That's so tired.
Oh yeah. First off, flex. I have no idea who the hell this guy is. So Ben Shapiro, for one, you're not relevant enough to crack Bill Burr's radar. Unfortunately, he's not plugged into the world of failed, screenwriters who had to go the washed out, I'm a conservative now kind of direction. He's out hanging out in real Hollywood. He likes to be around people who are funny and successful. So boom, backhanded double whammy from the guy. But it's totally true and very poignant that he says all he knew is if he put woke on what I said, he would make more money. That's all he cares about. It immediately cuts to the bone. It's like, dude, this guy is irrelevant. He's basically just a con artist. He's just a guy who's out here saying shit. Okay, he's a guy with a microphone saying shit that's trying to get a rise out of people because he knows the bigger rise that comes out of people, the more money in his wallet.
100%.
Pretty clear as day. And I feel like at this point, that's the ultimate, throw your dick on the table. It's like, I don't even know who the fuck this guy is. Why are you asking me about him?
Yep. And here's exactly what Shapiro said in a written critique. What a fucking pussy. I put out a written critique of Bill Burr. Check out my pamphlet about why Bill Burr is too woke. What a piece of shit. Anyway, Burr has become woke over time. First of all, you could say he's always been woke if you want to use that word. I remember he was arguing with Joe Rogan about the vaccine like 4 fucking years ago. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe not always been woke, but he's been on the left. He's been a progressive kind of guy for a while now. Either way, over time.
What's crazy is all of these guys used to be quote unquote woke, right? Dave Chappelle was woke. Dave Chappelle was criticizing the police in the 90s, right? They love to promote Dave Chappelle now because he's made some, unsavory remarks about trans people, basically like really cringy comedy about trans people. But when Bill Burr was coming up, he was on the Chappelle Show. He was like the only white guy on Chappelle's show. And he crushed. And Dave Chappelle was woke, and he left for Africa because he didn't like the way that white people were laughing at his jokes. So it's like all revisionist history to pretend like these guys have somehow been Republican Party mouthpieces. No, Bill Burr's the only one that stayed true. He's the only one that didn't go for the cheap, I'm a boomer now, I don't understand young people or society, let me be hateful and cringe. No, he's like, let me just continue to be a comedian. Let me just continue to tell actual jokes that will make people laugh.
100%. 100%. Well, that's not what Shapiro thinks, Zach. He says that over time, I think he became embarrassed that many people on the right thought he was funny. So he decided he was going to go woke, which again just makes it even more embarrassing for Ben Shapiro and the conservatives. Like, even if that's true, say Bill Burr started doing his comedy, he realized, oh fuck, my style of humor is appealing to the wrong people. I don't want to be associated with these fucking losers. I don't want to be associated with these fucking completely the most embarrassing people in society. I better make sure everyone knows I'm not one of them, right? That's what happened, even if, according to Ben Shapiro. Like, Bill Burr's like, I do not want anyone to think that there is any association between my comedy and these absolute lowlifes, this absolute scum of the earth. That's, according to Ben Shapiro, what happened here, which again is even more of a fucking L for the conservatives. That's so funny.
Yeah, and also I think it's so funny because it's like nobody cares about your feelings. Like, sorry, you're a triggered snowflake, Ben. Like, he's literally become a parody of what he pretends to criticize, right? Somebody who takes comedy, somebody who takes a celebrity and gets all fucking pissed off about it, somebody who has to throw a tantrum because a stand-up comedian says something that he didn't like. I thought you were the free speech guy. I thought you were the one that hated how the left got triggered by everything. I thought you hated how everybody was a snowflake now, how there was no toughness left in society, how you couldn't say anything. Oh, but now here comes along one guy who makes a fucking joke and you have to go and throw a tantrum about it because he's putting celebrities' lives in danger. CEOs are people too. You can't just go out here threatening violence in our society. Like, you're literally having a tantrum. You're being the same blue-haired social justice warrior on a college campus that's melting down because somebody has different ideas than you. That's what you're doing, except it's another grown man who doesn't know who the fuck you are.
Yeah, 100%. And then get a load of this. So he goes on to scold Bill Burr for openly cheering the murder of the United Healthcare CEO, yada, yada, yada. Literally within the last 6 months, Ben Shapiro has openly cheered the murder of an entire fucking ethnic population, that being the Palestinian people. Imagine pearl clutching over a joke about one dude, one piece of shit who you could actually understand the motive behind his murder. Meanwhile, not only have you been manufacturing consent for a genocide, not a murder, but a literal genocide of fucking an entire race of people. Not only have you been doing that recently, but you've been doing it your entire fucking career. There's a quote from Ben Shapiro from 2012 or something where he's saying that Benjamin Netanyahu should be the president of America. I'm not even fucking kidding you guys. He was saying that Arabs live in sewage and bomb shit. In 2010, he was doing genocide apologia before it was even cool, before most of you guys in chat probably even knew what the fuck Israel was. You know what I'm saying? This guy has been a loyal soldier of genocide and a loyal defender of ethnic cleansing. And now he wants to come out here and try to make us all feel like he's some pacifist. Like, what the fuck? Clearly you're not, bro.
I mean, yeah, it's like, I mean, it's honestly, it's a very like, it's a very American thing to do, you know. Like, even like liberals do this shit all the time. They'll be like, yo, listen, we tortured some folks. Okay, we had to do some murder, and the PR from our government says, hey, let's reel that back a little bit. Say America wants to negotiate, want to be a friend. Don't want to have North Korea as our kind of cultural signifier, cultural brother. We'd rather be United Kingdom. And then they'll go on and talk about how like we can't just go and kill random CEOs. It's like, well, we had to depose that dictator because he was a bad man. It's like, well, Luigi had to depose of the CEO because he was a bad man. So it happens all across American politics. You know what I mean? But Ben Shapiro just has this uniquely cringy way of putting it all together into the nice bow of like a little political pipsqueak. You know what I mean? And I think Bill Burr has done the equivalent of putting him in a proverbial locker and slamming the door and being like, shut up, nerd. Quit your bitching.
Yep, 100%. And he went on to call Burr's comments truly evil. He's saying that you should live in fear if you're the CEO of a company that does things that Burr deems to be bad or wrong. Of course, Ben Shapiro forgets that most people in his audience are not the CEO of a fucking company. So guess what, bro? No one's afraid. Like, that's the thing. They want people to act like they want just normal people to be afraid now. Like, oh, maybe you're going to be next. Maybe the next Luigi is going to target you. And it's like, bro, just because all your fucking friends at your like cocktail parties, just because they're all part of the CEO community or adjacent, 99.99999% of people are not. 99.9% of people sided with Luigi and understood what he did. This is so fucking funny.
Yeah, pretty hilarious. The last thing I'll add is that I am really jealous of everyone who gets to see Burr and Bob Odenkirk and Kieran Culkin do Glengarry Glen Ross. I remember when they announced that, and I was really curious about how much it would cost to get tickets to go see it. Even for crappy tickets, it's Broadway, so it's like $500. But an incredible play that I really do enjoy. I just recently named a cocktail after it for our winter menu, and I'm hoping that they film it and you can watch it at some point down the line.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I didn't realize he was actually doing a Broadway debut. That's awesome. Bill Burr, he's a funny comedian. He's a great comedian, as we've discussed at length, but he also is a serious actor. Like, I've seen him just pop up in random movies. I was watching a movie the other day by Jason Reitman called The Front Runner about this like guy who ran for president back in the 80s. It was kind of a mid movie, but Bill Burr randomly just pops up as a side character in the film and is easily the best part of the entire movie. And I was like, shit, at least there's one thing to, be entertained by in this slog of a film. But yeah, he will just pop up even if it's not like a attention grabbing headlining role.
Yeah, and I think that if there's one role that, he could really dominate in, it's like a fucking rip your throat out salesman, just like an old school kind of like, I've got to get the fucking clothes. I'm going to fucking seal the deal kind of wheel and dealing business guy. Just because he's so good at the quick talking, shit spilling, bro thing, very snappy dialogue. I think he'll crush. I'm really excited. I know they'll film it, so I'm really excited to check it out when it's off Broadway and, regular poors like me can watch.